Well, now that we have gone over independent versus dependent clauses at a high level, we're going to take a deeper dive into independent clauses. Now, independent clauses, yes, they are complete thoughts. They can stand alone as sentences unto themselves, but they can also be combined with one another to form, and do you know what they could form? Compound sentences. Compound sentences. All right. Compound sentences. All right. And there are three main ways that you could combine independent clauses. Now, the most common one is comma plus a coordinating conjunction. So this is the first way we can combine independent clauses. How many of you have heard of the mnemonic fanboys? Fanboys. Wow. Fanboys, they are the coordinating conjunctions, all right? And they combine independent clauses, but this is a really, really important part. All of it's important, but this is the part that most people forget. You need a comma. You need a comma in front of your fanboy, okay? So if I say, Dave ran 3 miles, and be sure, by the way, to write out the word 3. So many people would just put the number 3. Anything under 10, including 10. I mean, I have a row of 20, but write it out, guys. Write it out. Anyway, Dave ran 3 miles, but I only managed to run 2. That's what I would see. And I'm like, no, comma. You need that comma there, okay? So, good. This is what we call fanboy. Now, you can also use a semicolon. This is a little bit more sophisticated. I will actually be honest. I love a good semicolon because I'm a dork, okay? But yeah, you could also combine clauses using semicolon, in which case you don't need a coordinating conjunction, all right? So Dave ran 3 miles. I only managed to run 2, all right? So in that case, we are using a semicolon. And last but not least, there is the colon. Now, the colon is a trickier one. You can't just use it and like swap out any semicolon, replace it with a colon, any comma, coordinating conjunction, and swap it with a colon. You can't do that, right? It needs to make sense. It is only appropriate in certain circumstances, and it really depends on the context, all right? So for instance, it doesn't make sense to say, Dave ran 3 miles. I only managed blah, 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 blah. That doesn't make any sense, right? Because the idea is that you have to reveal something, right? So saying that you ran 2 miles has nothing to do with the reveal. It's not revealing anything about Dave running 3 miles, right? It has to be like this, like, I have exciting news. Dave was able to run 3 miles, right? So the reveal of the news, what is the news? It was that Dave, I don't know, who's like, let's say, actually, you could swap it out with Jane. I have a thing with running. We don't get along. I actually petitioned when I was in upper school. I actually petitioned to swim my miles as opposed to running my miles. I feel like I'm constantly dying when I run. Okay, that was a tangent. Anyway, I have exciting news. Jane was able to run 3